And welcome to Auntie Allie's Draw and Paint Time. Today we're going to be drawing a Halloween autumn pumpkin and black little kitty with big green eyes popping out. I will guide you step by step how to draw and paint. Today we'll be using blue, green, and white for our background to kind of create an abstract. So there are no mistakes in art. Remember that, because we will be creating what comes out of us. So I'm going to start with my large paintbrush. And let's see, I'm going to go ahead in with my green paint. And this is just for the background area. We're going to go ahead and cover our whole canvas. So you just want to put a lot of pressure with your paintbrush. And we're going to be going up and down motion here. Just grab the paint and just glide your brush up and down. And I just keep using whatever paint is on my bristles until it stops coming off. We're going to be mixing a few different colors to create this. Maybe you just do one more here. So you don't have to cover the whole thing with the green paint if you don't want to. And you can use any colors for this background, any shades of green or blue or white, whatever makes you happy. That's the important part about painting. You don't want to put pressure on yourself, you just want to have fun. All right, maybe I'll just do a little bit more down here. Still going in that same up and down motion. A little bit down here. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead. I'm not even going to rinse my paintbrush off, so I'm just going to grab my blue paint now and just sporadically putting some stripes down. You can add as much blue as you like. Be creative with it. It doesn't have to be just like mine. You want it to be just like yours. We are our own individual artists. I'm just guiding you the way that I created it. Still going up and down. Picking up some paint, all from end to end of the canvas. Now, if you don't have these exact colors, you can go ahead and use whatever colors you have around the house. You can send me pictures of your art. I love to see what you've created. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and leave that just as is now. And now I'm going to go ahead and pick up some white paint. Again, I'm not washing my bristles. And now I'm just going to do very light strokes with the white here. Just sporadically around my canvas. Now I'm going to go ahead and just give it a little bit more pressure. So now I'm creating movement in my background here. If you want to see more white, just don't give it as much pressure. If you want to see less white and see what color that creates, then give it a little bit more pressure. I want to see a little bit more white, so I'm going to go ahead and just do a few more taps and spread it out. Still using that up and down motion. Oh, that's looking really pretty. How's yours looking? Remember, you can pause this video at any time. You do not need to go fast to keep up with me. That's the great thing about the video, is you can pause and resume. Ooh, this is looking pretty cool. And just spreading that out. We add a little bit more here. How do you know when it is finished? That's a great question. When you feel like it's finished. When you feel like you have enough, then you're done. If you want to add a little bit more, let's say if I added a little bit too much white and I wanted to add a little bit more blue, I'm just going to go ahead here and pick up some blue and just add a little bit. Such pretty colors. You can see all those colors just popping out of your canvas. Great. Now I'm going to go ahead and wash my bristles because I want to make sure that it's going to be nice and clean for the next time I use it. And then I just take a paper towel and really dry off. You can also use rags, anything you have to clean off your bristles. Perfect. So next step I'm going to do, you can pause the video, and I'm going to be blow drying my painting so it'll be nice and dry for the next step. See you in a little bit. Bye. And white. And I'm going to go ahead and pick up a little bit of white, and I'm just going to go to this probably the center of my canvas to just make a little dot there. And I'm going to go ahead and draw my pumpkin. So pumpkins, as we know, are all different shapes and sizes. So I'm just going to go down, just creating an oval shape here. Go to the other side. Not too much paint, just enough where I can see my lines here. Give it a little flattish bottom. Great. So that will be the shape of my pumpkin. And now I'm going to go ahead and put another dot right around here. And I'm going to make like probably a football shape. I'm going to start at that dot. This is going to be our kitty's head. And I'm going to start in the middle and just go over like that at the top and over like that. Kind of like a little rainbow, top of the rainbow shape. And then I'm going to do the same thing but just upside down. So I'm going to go down, oval, and down and attach. Great. You don't have to have your shapes perfectly even. You want to be able to go ahead and be creative with your art. I'm going to go ahead now and make my 2 ears. So I'm just going to put little triangles up and attach, and to the other side of the head, and I'm going to go up and attach. When you're drawing animals, you want them to be more realistic, so their shapes aren't completely symmetrical. You want them to have a little bit of difference to them. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and draw the line where you see the brown, and that's going to be the little table that my cat and pumpkin is sitting on. So I'm going to go kind of right around here and draw a line that way, and again draw a line that way. I'm going to go ahead and rinse off my little paintbrush now. Dry those bristles really well so they're not too wet. And I'm going to pick up my medium paintbrush, and I'm going to go ahead and start with the pumpkin. So I'm going to go ahead and just pick up some orange paint and fill in all that area. You want to make sure your canvas is nice and dried, and if not, you can go ahead and pause the video and dry it anytime. So I'm going to start at this center, and I'm making like curved shapes. Just like so. Just filling in that line, coloring it in. I don't want to use too much paint. I want to make sure that it's spreading off of my bristles. Sometimes when you use too much paint, the molecules can't adhere to the canvas, so it works better with a little less paint. Just picking up my orange as it's not coming off my bristles anymore. And just doing that curve towards the middle, each side. Curving down. Put my paint on, spread it out, and have it just meet up with the bottom. And just filling in that area, and it's covering up over that green. And we're going to be doing many layers of this orange paint and creating shading and highlighting and really making your pumpkin and your kitty stand out. So don't be afraid if it's not dark enough for you, because we're going to be doing more layers. Acrylic paint works really well with different layers. You want to let them dry a little bit in between. So we'll be working on different things as another area dries. Okay, and that is all filled in. It's going to look like a really great big pumpkin. I'm going to go ahead and wash off my medium brush here. I just have a little glass of water, little cup of water, so that way I don't spill it. So I usually fill it up right till around here. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and in this area, I'm going to take my large paintbrush now, and in this area here, around the pumpkin up to the white line, I'm going to use my brown paint. This time, I'm going to take my paint and I'm going to go in this direction towards the pumpkin. Just going right up to that orange, just from the edge over to the orange. Now as that brown is still wet, and I'm going right to around here, this left side of the orange, I'm going to pick up a little tiny tap of white. Just a little tiny tap. See that? And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create like a wood grain in my brown. I'm just going back and forth. Pick up a little bit at a time. Creating a lot of movement in this painting. I'm just going to smoosh out, is that a good word? Smoosh out, right around the pumpkin. And if you want a little bit more wood grain, you can add a little bit more white. If you want a little less, you can add a little less. Okay, I'm going to go ahead to the other side, go into my brown paint and do the same thing. This time I'll start from the pumpkin and just work my way out. Pick up a little bit of brown as I'm running out of paint off my paintbrush. Trying to keep it going back and forth because I do really love to create that wood grain in the table. Go ahead and make a nice edge there. And pick up a little bit of white. You could just put it on sporadically also and just drag it. See, I'm just dragging that as my brown paint is still wet. Okay. Maybe pick up a little bit brown paint and just make this side a little darker. Just dragging it over. Now I'm going to smoosh out the end of my pumpkin. Perfect. Now, not only do we have movement in the background, but we also have movement for our table. Maybe just a little bit more white there. Now I'm just going to pick up a little touch of yellow and just drag that through as well. Just a little tap. Little bits tap. Just creating a little bit more movement. Smoosh it out. Don't forget about underneath your pumpkin as well. Okay. That's looking like a really great table there. Let me just go ahead and edge it out. And we'll be adding a shadow afterwards as well. So I'm going to go ahead and now wash out my paintbrush, my large paintbrush. And I'm just going to go ahead and wipe my edges. Now let's go back and work on our pumpkin again and give it another layer. So I'm going to go ahead with my orange paint and pick up a little bit of red paint. And I'm going to do the same thing that I painted on the first time. I'm going to start in the middle and just work my way out to the edges. All the way down to the end. Pick up a little bit of orange and then some reds. Ooh, those colors are really starting to come together now. Starting to look a little bit more autumn. Pick up some orange and some red. Smoothing that all out. Great. Now I'm going to go ahead and tap right into my white paint. And I'm going to start in the center here. This is about where my stem will be. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a little stem. We'll paint that in after. Have it go a little tiny bit over the pumpkin. And your stem can be bigger than mine, shorter than mine, however you like. I'm going to go ahead and tap into a little bit of orange, and I'm going to do that same shape that we were painting in. One there, one there, one there. Tap into a little bit more white, and I'm using my large paintbrush still to do that. And don't worry about if it's too white or too light. We're going to be putting in more color over these lines afterwards. You just want to really see that shape forming. Great. Now I'm going to go ahead and let that dry a little bit and wash off my bristles. And dry the bristles so the paintbrush doesn't have too much water on it. And I'm going to go with my medium paintbrush. Now we're going to start on our cat. So I'm going to go right into my black paint. Go ahead and tap my bristles in there. And I'm going to just go ahead and paint that football shape that we created. All black. Just filling that right in. It's such a nice season, fall time. I live in New England and I get to see all the beautiful colors around. So it's very inspiring. I'm going to go ahead and paint the outside of my triangles. In these videos I like to do seasonal paintings, so I always will be coming up with paintings for all the different seasons that we have. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is get a little bit more black paint, and I'm going to draw the arms going around the pumpkin. So this time I'm just going to go like right around here and just swoosh. See that? And another one on this side and swoosh right over to the pumpkin. Now I'm going to grab a little bit more paint and I'm just going to fill in behind. See how I'm tapping? Tapping right from the pumpkin to that swoosh line. Just tap right over that swoosh line as well. This will start creating a nice fluffy kitten for you. Perfect. So easy. And you got to create a head and an arm so far. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Tap right into the pumpkin area. Fill into the swoosh line. Create my little kitty paw. And just tapping outside that swoosh line as well, just to create a little bit of fur texture there. Super cute. You can also create little taps on the edges of your ears, creating little furry ears for your kitty. All right, this is starting to really come together now. I'm not adding more paint because while I'm creating this fur, I don't want it to be too heavy. I'm just creating a little bit of texture there. Now I'll just pick up a little bit more paint because I ran out, but I'm just tapping it so I don't have too much on there. And I'm going to go around my head now. Not too dark. So just little puffs. Little puffs of fur, little furry face. You can make your face as fluffy as you like. Just pick up a little bit more. So cute. Okay, now at this time we'll let the black paint dry a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and wash off my medium brush. Actually, before we do that, let's tap our paintbrush. I'm going to show you a little bit of dry brushing. It's one of my favorite techniques to use. We're going to create a shadow. So you don't want too much paint on there, just enough that you see like almost like a pencil mark. So on this left side of my pumpkin, I'm just going to go ahead and go around like this. See how I'm creating that shadow there? Because it's sitting on the table and the kitty's on top of it, so it's going to create a little bit of darkness there. There you go, and you just rub it in right around that pumpkin. Now you created a nice shadow. Perfect. Oops, erased a little bit of my arm there. That's okay. Just put it right back. Okay, great. Just a little bit of dry brushing, a little bit of shadows. If your paint is too dark, just tap it off and shadow it out. Now that I have the little dry brushing, a little bit of black paint on there, see there's not too much coming off, not much at all. I'm going to go ahead and follow those white lines right underneath. Just add a little bit of dry brushing on my pumpkin as well. Just maybe about 4 or 6 lines. Creating the shadows. Okay, so the next step we're going to create our beautiful little kitty eyes. And I'm going to start with my little brush. Make sure your paint is nice and dry. And I'm going to grab a little bit of white paint, put it in a little area here, just a couple little dabs, and pick up some green paint, and I'm just going to lighten up my green. So I'm just lightening that up till it becomes the color that I would like my kitty's eyes to be. And you could create your cat's eyes to be whatever color you like. Yeah, I think that should be perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little dot here. And a little dot here. Oh, it even looks cute like that. And I'm just going to make it like a circle and paint that in. Paint a little circle. My little brush. I'm going to do a couple of coats on that, so I'm going to let that area dry now and just wash off my little brush. And I'm going to paint in the ears now. Now on my ears, I ended up using blue. So you can use whatever color you like. Even pink would look cute, mixing a little red and white. But I'm going to pick up a little bit of white and a little bit of blue and just lighten up that blue a little bit here. I just wanted to make it more whimsical. And I'm going to paint the inside of my triangle now. Just paint another little triangle. Maybe with a little rounded top there. Oh, I really love that color. How's your color looking? Can't wait to see when everybody sends me their pictures. How we all use our own creativity. Great. I love the way that looks. And I'm going to rinse off my paintbrush again. And this time I'm going to make the cute little nose. I made mine into a little heart, a pink little heart. So I'm going to take some white paint and a little tap of red and create a little pink here. Really mixing those colors together. Maybe a little bit more red. And remember, you can pause this video at any time. So I'm going to go ahead and just paint my little nose right about here. I'm going to just make mine into a little heart. Just fill that in. So cute. Okay, great. Now I'm just going to wipe that off. And I'm going to go back into my green paint and give my eyes another coat. Nice big kitty eyes. Using my little paintbrush so that way I have more control. There. So cute. Now I'm going to take my black paint, just a little bit, and I'm going to give it a little scroll off the side here so it's not too much. And I'm going to go ahead from the top and just create a little oval like a U on both sides. See at the top of my eye and create a U. I'm just going to fill that right in. Oh my goodness, he's starting to have a personality now. I'm just filling in that U I created. So cute. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and, oh, maybe I'll just make it a little bigger. A little bit wider there. I'm going to rinse off my little brush. I want to create some whiskers. So now that my little brush is cleaned off and wiped, the bristles are wiped dry, I'm going to pick up some white paint. Give it a little wiggle in there. And I'm just going to scroll it. See how I'm rolling it? Just to make it not too white. I'm going to start on the ears and I'm going to make a few little whiskers coming out of the ears. Just one. And another one. Giving it more perspective. So your painting really starts to stand out. Maybe a few little ones in the middle. Same thing, grab a little paint. Go inside the ear. One, and a few in the center. Super cute. I'm going to take that. I'm not going to add any more paint to it. I'm going to make my whiskers around the nose now. So I'm just going to start like at the top and just whoosh. And another one over here, whoosh. I love my terms, swoosh and whoosh. Okay, I'm going to make another little one underneath. And a little whoosh and whoosh. I'm going to make that one a little darker. And then I'm just going to go ahead and another long one underneath. A whoosh and a whoosh. Perfect. Alrighty, now I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit more white paint. If your eyes have had a chance to dry a little bit, I'm going to just put a dot here. And a dot here. And you can wait till your black paint really dries. If you think it's dry enough, you can go ahead and try. Do little dots there. And I'm going to put 2 on the corner, 2 little ones. 1, 2. Just giving it a little press there. And on this side, 1 and 2. All right, I'm so pleased with the way that this is looking. And I'm just going to give a little swoosh on the nose, just to give it a little highlight there. Now I'm going to rinse off my small paintbrush. And I'm going to make the stem of the pumpkin. I'm going to go into a little bit of white and then a little tap of brown, because I want my stem to be a little bit lighter than my table was. So I'm making my brown a little light here. Isn't it fun mixing all these colors together? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and fill my stem in. I'm going to go up and down lines this time. Right across. Maybe just a little touch of brown. Make some stripes in there. Give it more dimension. Great, creating a shadow and a highlight at the same time. Nice dark one down at the bottom. I'm just outlining the left side with the brown paint. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead with my medium paintbrush, and I just want to give my pumpkin one more coat. One more coat here. Let's see, I think I'm going to take some orange and some yellow. And I'm going to give it on the right side, just go right over, creating a little bit of highlight here, right on the right side. Just a little bit at the top. Whoa, it's really starting to pop out now. And pick up some orange and just go over that, right underneath a little bit. Such a pretty pumpkin. Pick up some orange and a little tap of yellow. Doing curved. A little bit more darker orange on this side, maybe even with some red. Mix it up, have fun with it. Just lightly brushing some oranges and yellows, a little bit of reds. Maybe even a little bit of white in that orange. Let's see what that does. That's creating a nice highlight there. More orange. Creating more layers for that paint. Really want that orange to pop. And as your painting dries, you'll really see those colors popping out. Let's get some more oranges. Beautiful. That's a nice pumpkin. Do a little bit more. And if you want to keep still working on your pumpkin, just go ahead and pause the video and keep adding your layers. Very nice. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and create some vines on our pumpkin. I'm going to go ahead and stay with my medium brush. I'm going to grab some green paint, add a little bit to the white, just lightening it up a little bit. I'm going to go to my top of my stem here, and I'm going to do a swoosh right around the arm and off to the bottom. There you go. One swoosh there, and this time I'm going to make my curl go upwards. So I'm going to go up and over and swoosh. Take a little bit more green paint so it really stands out. And go right over it. Now your painting has lots of perspective going on. I'm going to take a little tap of my white paint and just drag it right over that, creating a highlight. And a little bit on this one. And if you don't want to put the vines, you don't have to. If you want to add more vines, you can. Just grabbing a little green. Super fun. Now I'm going to make a leaf coming out from the bottom of my painting. Bottom of the pumpkin, picking up some green and white. And I'm just going to make a little swoosh. Just like that. Make it into a little fun leaf. Coming out from underneath, creating that perspective. And maybe I'll do another little one over here. Add a little green and white. Just make little doodad lines here on my leaves. Super cute. Okay. I think we got everything. Everything looks great. Just going to go ahead and wipe off that medium brush. I'm going to pick up a little bit of white paint. Just going to dab it on my cloth. I want to do a little dry brushing highlights on the pumpkin. So we'll do a little bit here. A little bit right around here. Just to see some more highlights. Little curves. And then I think I'm just going to take a little bit of dark green, maybe with some brown. Oh, that would be nice. I'm going to make a shadow underneath here. Look at that. Just creating more and more dimension. Little green, little brown, right underneath for a shadow. All right. I hope you enjoyed this painting with me. When you're all done your painting, you can go ahead and sign it. I am going to sign my painting Artsy. And you can sign your painting on the front or the back or wherever you like. Oops, one little highlight. Little brush, white paint, and give it a little swoosh in that eye. One here and one here. There you go. I hope you enjoyed your class, and I will see you next time. Bye.